Hey there everybody, it's Nasty P here, and well, it's time to say something you guys have been waiting since the end of Season 1. Finally, the Nasty One has come back to the Virtual Meets Reality house. That's right guys, for those of you who don't recognize me, I'm Nasty P, otherwise known as Von Prakniak, and I was a competitor from the first season of Virtual Meets Reality. I ended up finishing in 4th place behind original host Jake, who won the season. My thoughts on the season were great. I had a lovely time on the show, and I can't wait to do it again one day. So, unfortunately, work prevented me from competing in this season, but I can't wait to come back for a future season. Anyway, in case you guys don't already realize, I'm going to be your host for this week's POV competition. So, without further ado, let's get into the competition, people. Hook 'em horns, let's go. Alright, let's do this. This week we saw President Connor and President Jonah be elected into the Oval Office. However, their terms are almost up, and it is time for a new duo to take control of the Oval Office. Who will come out on top? Let's find out. The players competing in this veto competition are Connor, Jonah, Caleb, Hunter, Rennie, Tyler, Devin, Blake, Brandon, and Jacob. I will read each of you a question and provide you with two options. You will either answer with the letter A or the letter B. If you answer in the majority of the other players, you will get 1 point. If you answer in the minority of the other players, you will earn 0 points. The player with the most points at the end of the competition will win the Golden Power of Veto. Alright guys, we got 14 questions, let's get it on. First question, who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Dr. Will and Mike Boogie, or B, Dan and Memphis? Question 2. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Rachel and Brendan, or B, Jordan and Jeff? Question 3. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? Letter A, Daniel and Dick, or B, Derek and Cody? Question 4. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Hayden and Lane, or B, Vanessa and Tiffany? Question 5. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Kalia and Porsche, or B, Helen and Alyssa? Question 6. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Bridget and Frank, or B, Davon and Jason? Question 7. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Audrey and Blanket, or B, Paul and Pablo? Question 8. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? Danielle and Jason, or B, Janelle and Howie? Question 9. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Adria and Natalie, or B, Liz and Julia? Question 10. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Jesse and Lydia, or B, Reagan and Brittany? Question 11. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Nick and Gina Marie, or B, Candace and Howard? Question 12. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Jocasta and Donnie, or B, Frankie and Zach? Question 13. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? Would it be A, Clay and Shelley, or B, James and Natalie? Alright guys, your 14th and final question. Who would you vote to lead the United States at 10 gauge? A, Carly J and Julie Chen, or B, Jake Wong and Casey Jones? Alright guys, that's all the questions I got for you. I wish you all good luck for the rest of the season, and that's all I got to say this year. With nothing else to say, this is the Nasty One, signing off.